Okay, on this side of your notes, we're going to start talking about parallel lines and perpendicular lines and how we can find equations or lines, linear lines, that are parallel or perpendicular to another given line. Well, let's first talk about parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same what? What do they have the same of? Well, let's just kind of draw a parallel line and kind of figure that out. What would they have the same of? Well, a parallel line, we could say this is parallel to that line, and this one is parallel to that same line. And this one's parallel to that same line. And if you look at all these lines, you notice they all have the same slope. So if you ever are told, hey, find a line that's parallel to this line, right off the bat you could say, well, that line has this slope, so the parallel line must have the same exact slope. So that's a good little key there. Now perpendicular is a little bit harder. I'll show you. I'll draw a perpendicular line for you, and we got to figure out what the slope of that is. So first, let's just kind of look at the slope of this line over here. That's given to us, this line. And let's find that slope. Now, slope, remember, is rise over run. So what I do is I like to pick 2 points that cross over at nice intersections. See these little intersection spots? 2 points that cross over at nice intersections. I'd like to find the slope. So the slope of this would be up 1 and over 1, 2, 3. So the slope of that is 1/3. Okay, now let's just draw a line that's about perpendicular to it and see what the slope of that line is, and see if we can find a pattern. So I don't know, something like that-ish. Now, I could say that that would be perpendicular to this. It looks like there is a 90-degree angle. That would be a perpendicular line. It would make a 90-degree angle, right? So let's find the slope of this line right here. It goes down 3 and over 1. So -3 and 1. So the slope of the perpendicular line is -3 over 1. So what do you notice when we take a look at the perpendicular line compared to the other line? What do you notice about it? Well, what you notice maybe is that the 3 and the 1 swaps. So the 3 is now on the top and the 1 is now on the bottom. And you maybe also notice that this one was positive, right? This one was a positive and this one became a negative. And so you can actually determine the slope of perpendicular lines because their slopes are called negative reciprocals. And just to find the slope is you just swap, you flip them, and then you take the other sign. That's how you find the slope of a perpendicular or of perpendicular lines. We're going to use this idea for perpendicular lines, the slope here, and parallel lines to solve 2 example problems.